I love my job. Right, the hat is staying on for this entire video because I cut my head shaving my hair this morning. You didn't need to know that, but anyway. You came here to try and work out if you should buy the MacBook Neo or the iPad Air. This is the M4 iPad Air, the brand new one. I reviewed it recently. It's just amazing. It's incredible. It's the best iPad Apple has ever made. The MacBook Neo might be the best thing Apple has ever done. I'm still trying to work. I'm trying to get that right in my head. I'm trying to make that decision as to whether or not that's the case. If you don't want to miss my full conclusion about this one day, hit that subscribe button. But in the meantime, my job is to read the comments that you guys leave and help you out. And I can't ignore how many people during the coverage that I've done so far of the MacBook Neo have asked about this particular decision. It's quite straightforward. This is the good news. And the other good news for you and for Apple is that they can exist perfectly happy together. They can coexist. They can live a long, fruitful life. They are completely different devices. But clearly, I need to offer a bit of guidance for the people who are a little bit unsure, understandably, about where to go. So, let's get into it. Let's start with your budget, because let's say you've got $599 to spend on your next Mac or iPad. On the face of it, they're both the same price. $599, $599. I can't talk about every single region, obviously, and there are discounts for students and stuff like that. But if we look at it from a UK/US perspective, they are the same price. However, that is what the comparison is there. A full-on laptop and a tablet. To turn this into something resembling that, we have to get a Magic Keyboard. That adds to the price. And actually, as you can see, there's quite a discrepancy in the screen size here. This is the 11-inch iPad Air. This has a 13-inch screen, so you'd have to really get the 13-inch iPad Air, which again is more cost. So the price difference is actually quite significant. And then if you spend all that money on an iPad Air, you're not comparing it against this anymore. You're kind of comparing it against a MacBook Air, which sounds confusing. It sounds like it's convoluting things even more, but this is where the differentiation becomes very clear between what this does and what this does. If you're looking to clean up your iPad setup and keep it working on the go, the brand new Moft Dynamic Folio case is seriously impressive. It's not just a stand, it's a fully adjustable setup designed for work, creativity and entertainment, this time with upgraded protection on all four corners. Traditional iPad stands are often too bulky or too heavy to carry around every day. This one isn't. It's available for the M5 iPad Pro, it's one piece, it's super slim and it has you covered. The Dynamic Folio has 5 modes. There's Theatre Mode, which is fantastic for hands-free entertainment when watching movies, Creative Mode, which offers the perfect angle for sketching or note-taking, Reading Mode, which provides a comfortable hands-free setup for reading and organising notes, one of my favourites, Leg Mount Mode, which is fantastic when you're sat on the train or just chilling on the couch. But the feature I really didn't expect to use this much is Dual Screen Mode. This allows you to view your phone at the same time, whether it's for meetings, calls or just a reference point. It's very, very handy. The lightweight fiberglass and origami-inspired design has been so useful while travelling. That's because the Folio folds completely flat and there's a modular add-on for the Apple Pencil. If you want an ultra-flexible iPad case that adapts to your day, check out the Moft Dynamic Folio case in the link below. Let's talk about the chips, because this is where things get fascinating and I think some of the confusion might be creeping in. In the iPad Air, we have the M4 chip. It's incredible. It's a desktop class chip, which you might find in a Mac. This has the A18 Pro, which technically is derived from the iPhone. So we have a MacBook with an A series chip in it and an iPad with an M series chip in it. Desktop class, iPhone class? What's going on? The world has caved in on it. No, it's really straightforward. We have to remember that Apple has complete control over everything. Hardware, software, all the internals, the whole kit and caboodle. The whole kit and you know what I mean? They've got control over everything. Because of that, the A18 Pro chip in here is amazing. It's perfect for the job. It works brilliantly. You will not have a problem with the MacBook Neo. You do need to watch my video about it just to make sure it's for you, but if it is, it's amazing. Right, the M4 chip in here is technically more powerful than that, but again, it's been made to work for this device, and because of that, it's tuned specifically for what you're supposed to do with this, and it gives you loads of headroom. You know, if you want to get into Final Cut Pro Pro and Logic Pro and all that sort of stuff. You can do that on the iPad Air. It's amazing. So technically it's sort of more powerful than this, but that doesn't matter because the big differentiator here is the operating system. So we have macOS over here and we have iPadOS over here. I've got loads of notes in front of me about how they differ and all that sort of stuff. But I think I just need to very quickly talk this through with you because I'm of the belief, and I've been doing this for quite a long time now. I'm of the belief that you're either an iPadOS person or a macOS person. You might be a combination of both. You might run this and this. That's absolutely fine. I possibly fall into that bracket maybe. But if I had to really put my cards onto the table, it would be macOS every single time. If I had to take one of these with me, it would be this. For you, that might be different. You may have spent the last 2 years, the last 5 years using iPads. And if that's the case, iPadOS will feel like a lovely warm pair of slippers for you. It's the thing that you're just very comfortable with. You love the way it works. You love the way it looks. And if you go from this to this, it would feel alien. And it's the same thing the other way around. Now, iPadOS is getting more macOS-like. It has lots of Mac-type stuff built into it. Like the Finder is very, very similar to what we have on here now. The multitasking is kind of getting there as well, but it's still a very different environment to work in. And it's a touch screen. Let's not forget that. You can't touch this. We can, but nothing happens. You can touch this and you can use an Apple Pencil and draw on it and all that sort of stuff. Some people love that. And that is just the way they've either grown up or it's the thing they've kind of molded themselves into. You know what I mean? They've kind of got into that way of working, and that's fine. I can't tell you which one is right for you, but what I can say is that they are so different, and that is why these two devices can live very happily alongside each other for a very long time. You have to decide which one is right for you. There are, though, two other things to talk about. So forgetting about everything that I've just said about the OS, if you're still confused about which one to go for, the first thing to think about is the interaction you're going to have with this device. The iPad Air with the Magic Keyboard looks a little bit like a laptop. So we have a keyboard, we have a trackpad, we have a display. It does that. It does that. However, we can take it off and it becomes a tablet. It becomes a traditional iPad that we can watch stuff on, we can play games, we can use the Apple Pencil, we can touch it and all that sort of stuff. And then when we're done with that, we can pop it back on there and we're back into work mode. The MacBook Neo is a traditional laptop, so it has a keyboard, it has a trackpad, it has a display, but nothing comes off. It does that. It does that, and that's it. That's a very different experience. And again, I can't tell you which one is right for you, but you'll have watched that and just thought, that's for me, or that's for me. But there's one other thing. You guessed it, it's the port situation. Now, there's actually a very big similarity between these two, which is the fact they both have USB-C 3, which means they're pretty quick in terms of data transfer, and they can both drive an external display. Happy days. The difference is the fact that we get one USB-C port on here and two on here. And yes, the second one on here isn't USB 3. We have USB 2 and USB 3, but there are two ports, which means if you're charging this, you can still connect something. Whereas on the iPad Air, you're going to need a dongle to charge and connect to something at the same time. And some people hate dongles. They really despise these things. And they are a bit of a faff, to be fair. So again, I can't tell you which one is right based on that. But if connectivity is a big thing for you, and if convenience in terms of charging and having something else connected at the same time is a big thing for you, this probably makes sense. But again, I can't really tell you which one's right for you. It's definitely worth pointing that out. The only other difference I can think of really is it a difference? Maybe not. It's the battery. So the iPad is about 10 hours. It's always been a 10-hour device. It's amazing. It lasts all day, basically. And the MacBook Neo is 16 hours. So quite a few more hours than this. But in my testing, which isn't particularly detailed, they both perform incredibly in terms of battery life and endurance. They're just the best on the market. Guys, it's over to you. I can't really say much more about this comparison. I understand why people are thinking between it, but they are such different devices. I love them both a lot. For me, it's the Mac. Every time. For you, it might be this. Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, you know what to do. Did I make it clear enough that you can use both of these as well? There's definitely a very big market for having a MacBook Neo and an iPad Air or an iPad Mini or an entry-level iPad. What a time we live in.